This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, welcome. We will call to order the Wednesday, February 18th regular meeting of the Aspen Pitkin County Housing Authority. I guess we'll start off. We have a new citizen appointee, Jackie Matthews. Welcome, Jackie.
I'm not sure, Adora, why the main thing's not popping up. The screen went away.
Just pause real quick here.
Doing video wrong. There, the name just came back. It's not showing the people.
Did they change something again? I don't know.
Usually when your name is up, that's good. Good to go.
I see a red light on that camera that's on the wall. I haven't seen it before.
It means it's recording.
Good news.
But don't you run it off of this computer and not
Yes.
that?
I was just checking
Okay.
all my
Yeah,
fields.
confirming the difference.
Yeah.
That one doesn't look like everything usually does. There it
I
is.
guess it's just that now. And also
Okay.
the mirrored.
Perfect.
Okay, you're good to go.
Okay, thank you. So just called the meeting to order, and first item on the agenda is the roll call.
Okay. Peter?
Here.
Scott?
Present.
Carson?
Here.
John?
Here.
Jackie?
Here.
And Jeffrey?
Okay, any agenda amendments? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to public comment. Is there anyone that would like to make public comment? If so, please come on up.
Hi, everybody.
And so if you could just, excuse me, if you could just say your name, and generally we try and keep public comments to, we have a 3-minute time limit.
Yeah, no, I emailed all of you and I left a copy for you. You didn't have to last week. And the reason I'm really here, I've been in town for,
Still didn't get the name.
So Robin?
yeah.
Okay,
Is this working? Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay.
Just to identify yourself.
Just
make sure
identify
that
Yeah,
you're
it's
not-
Robin Whitland. I've been in town a long, long time. A senior now, et cetera, et cetera. And as I know you have continue to have trouble finding people for Aspen Country Inn in particular, I would not be here otherwise. And I know you're considering changing some of the requirements for affordable housing. And I get what you do, and you're supposed to do everything right. You know, no argument for me. I would not be here otherwise. But I wondered if you might begin to consider seniors like myself. I've been in town for 35 years, contributed in many, many, many ways, and just would like to put it out there in my, because that helps you. You're depleting your fund at the A.P.C.H.A, Aspen Country Inn, and it's costing you tax money. So at what point is it become common sense? That's really the question. Can it be at least open for discussion? I know that space the first article I saw was last June that you wrote. So that space has been available for more than a year at the Aspen Country Inn. So what good does that do anybody? That's why I'm here. I just wanted to at least put it out there and see if it's something we can discuss at some point, can consider. I know you're considering a number of other things as well. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you for your comments. And I mean, so we've already reduced, so it was 1,500 hours,
No.
right? We've reduced it now to 1,000 hours. I asked Matthew just, how many do we have vacant right now?
Currently, of the 40, we have 4 vacant, 2 of which have had people offered. And just as a reminder, after we offer the unit, it's then that we have to do the qualification, and that's just the CHAFA rule. So it's a very time-consuming process to actually see if they qualify. And we have 40 units at ACI. We had 8 vacant in the summer, so we're half of that. And in fact, we've offered many more than 4 units, because those units do turn over pretty significantly. So we've had more than just 4 people move in through the summer. But currently we have 4 open, of which we've had 2 we've extended offers to.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I guess, so is your ask, is just to completely remove the work requirement? Is that the ask?
No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking you if you might begin to consider people like myself who are seniors, who meet the income requirements, who have been here for a very, very long time. I'm not asking you otherwise. I would not be here unless you had vacant space. I wouldn't even begin to ask.
I don't understand. So then you are asking us to waive the work requirement?
I guess,
Yeah.
if you want to look at it that way.
Okay.
And if that might make some common sense, So you have less empty space, and you don't continue to deplete the fund. So, of course, it's for me, but it's for the city as well. Does that help the city at all? Is really the
The work
question.
with retirees is they have to have a work history
Yes.
if they're retired to.
Is your mic on?
Thank you.
Correct. I've owned a business. I've been working remotely for decades, so I have never worked here.
I mean, so the obvious challenge is having a system that is built upon
Yep.
workforce, housing requirements. I mean, that obviously is, that's a big ask.
I know it's a big ask. I at
so-
least wanted to put it
Yeah.
out there because I know the space has been empty for a long time.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if that might help you out as well. Nor if you read my note, it's not, I'm not asking you to make like a wholesale change, but might there be a few people like myself who are seniors who do meet the income requirements that have been here forever, do not fulfill the work requirements?
Yeah.
Is that open for discussion?
Well, I do think that if we've got units that are sitting open, I do think it is worth our discussion of, what can the board look at to fill those units. I mean, Matthew, how long, you said since the summer, we've had 4 units that have been open?
Yeah, the,
They've changed though.
But are they different units?
yeah, they're different units.
They're different units. So
Right.
we've rented them, and then since we rented them,
Right.
4 different units came
Right.
open. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So we don't have units that are sitting vacant for a year.
We've got some that are open, July of '25, but yeah, not for longer than that.
All right.
That's all, I just wanted to put it out
Sure.
there to see if it might make sense
Sure.
for everybody. And there might be 1 or 2 other people like myself who have been here for a long time. And at what point might it make sense for the city? I don't want to take housing away
Right.
for anybody that's here. Please don't misunderstand that. But I know this, and I meet the income requirements because I know that's been another issue.
Yeah.
So thank you, Social Security.
And it is something staff is very aware of, and we've had inquiries from the City of Aspen financial team as well to keep an eye on that, because it does come out of the bottom line. So we are keeping our efforts to keep those units advertised, including we're going to be doing another round of Spanish language radio ads. So,
Okay.
we will keep the board informed as to how that's going.
Yeah. Well, I think, and if as we go through this, if we're unable to rent those units, then, I think that's a discussion we can have. But, also if there are other efficiencies or changes that we could make to qualify more people, I think the board
Absolutely,
would look
get
at
no
that,
argument
right?
from me
Like,
about that. But if you don't, and there
Right.
aren't people who are qualified, does it make sense for you to keep them empty?
Right.
Does that make sense for the city as well?
Right.
So I've said my piece. You have my email.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
in.
I appreciate the time.
Okay, is there any additional public comment online? If you're online, you would like to make public comment, please raise your hand. I don't see anyone, no one in the room. We will close public comment, and we will go to the Board of Directors' comments, and we will start online with Christine.
I don't have any comments, and I'm obviously joining remotely, and probably just for the regulations part, because I'm several hours ahead of you guys. So hi, and wanted to just get the update on those regulations.
Thanks, Christine. Jeffrey.
Comments. Thank you.
Jackie. John.
Good luck in Tokyo, Christine. Those are my comments.
I think if you're in Tokyo, you're more than a few hours ahead of
I'm,
us.
I'm probably,
No,
I
I'm
think
actually,
she's in
I'm
Europe
actually
right-
not. I'm going to Tokyo next week. I'm in Europe right now.
Oh, okay.
For work. So I'll see you on Monday, John.
Okay.
Great. Peter?
No comments. Thank you.
Scott?
Yeah, just a brief comment. I'd like to welcome our newest board member. Jackie, good to have you. We often have discussions that require financial knowledge, and so it's good to have someone on the board who has a background in that space. So thank you for adding your value and for volunteering to be part of the citizen board. It's awesome. Also, thank you to Robin for showing up and for participating in the process. There are requirements that we have to meet as a government body to maintain equity. And just as part of my public comment, I want to reiterate kind of the values of the board and how much we would love to support, this community and housing, but we do face barriers in terms of delivering on equity. And so thank you for your,
I know that, and I respect that.
and thank you for your participation.
Understand that
Yeah.
At all. I just thought would have benefited me, yes, would have helped the city if it sits there.
It's great. Yeah, this is the basis of democracy. And so when you come in and give ideas, even if it doesn't feel like they're happening now, I think I agree with our chair about this being worth the discussion in the future. And so thank you for your participation. And I also just wanted to say briefly that there were 9 candidates or applicants for the county position, and there are counties around the country right now who don't have any applicants and who are canceling elections. And so on all 3 fronts, citizen board, volunteer, public engagement, and people who are willing to run for elected office, I just wanted to say I'm proud to be part of this community. And I think that it's important now more than ever for our local and regional governments to take a stand and protect the programs and innovative solutions that we have, and will continue to do moving forward. So thank you.
Thank you, Scott. And I don't have anything other than just to echo the welcome to Jackie. Thanks for making the commitment to volunteer your time, and I know that you will be a great addition to the board. Okay, moving along to Executive Director update.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Matthew Gillen, Executive Director. I'm going to just give a little bit of context for the new members of the board on the Aspen country and situation. That is a low-income housing tax credit property, so it was developed with a tax partner. So it has a 50% AMI limit, which area median income, which is very low. So you can't earn a projected income of more than 50% of the AMI, which is why we have trouble filling it. So you have to earn not very much money. So we do find it's best for single people, and there's a priority in that unit for seniors. And the board last year reduced the work requirement to 1,000 hours. So we're doing everything we can to fill those units, including making sure the public really know about them, particularly down Valley, where we think there might be some success. A few other things just to mention. We have the latest HOA education series is next Thursday in the APD community room, and that's on permitting. We have some guests from the permitting offices, I think at both Pitkin County and the city. The HOA newsletter went out last week. That's the second one we've done. We're trying to do that every 6 months or so, particularly for HOAs. And in that, we've done a survey, asked for a survey on HOA insurance, which helps fulfill one of the items in the work plan we did for this year. And Kelly McNichols-Curry is doing the housing column, which will be published tomorrow, which is her final act of service to APCHA, which is very kind of her. That'll run tomorrow, and it's really good. I think it's a really good overview of everything this board has achieved in the past 7 years. So thank you very much to Kelly for that. And in March, I'm going to be doing a column, and I think it was fortuitous, but we are actually going to do that on engaging, how the public can engage with this board, giving public comment, approaching you, and all that kind of thing. So it's just going to be very straightforward. This is how, if you want to be part of the process, this is how to do it. And yesterday was was Tet, the start of Lent, and the start of Ramadan. So it was a big day. So I hope you're all recovered from that. Great. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthew. Cindy?
Again, just a reminder to get on our website and sign up for notifications. We do have ownership units coming up. There's one up at Twin Ridge right now, and then I think there's another one are we adding one this week?
No.
Okay, but I know that there's a couple more in the horizon, so definitely check our website and sign up for the rentals that we manage, which are Trescott and Aspen Country Inn, and any ownership units that you might qualify for. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Okay, we'll move to the consent calendar. 2 items. I would like to split these. So first, we have the minutes of the January 21st, 2026 regular meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion, amendments, changes?
Okay.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Okay. Peter,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Carson,
Yes.
and John,
Yes.
and Jeffrey.
Great. Okay, so now we'll move to the approval of Resolution 1, Series 2026, appropriating funds for remodel of 161 Mining Stock Parkway 201 and changing the category. Cindy, is this, are you going to take this?
What question, did you have any specific
This is the-
question? Oh, thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, this is the property, we had an owner in that property for many years who was causing considerable nuisance. I won't say the name, but many of you are probably aware. We had a lot of inquiries from concerned citizens and the HOA over the years, a lot of damage done actually to other units below her, flooding, that kind of thing. After considerable legal intervention, the owner did agree to sell. We bought it late last year. It's not as bad condition as we thought it would be, but it still needs a major retrofit. And then also we are asking for it to go up to Category 2 after we sell it and get
Category,
Category
go from
Category
2 to
4.
4.
Excuse me, from 2 to 4. And we anticipate getting all of this money back, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that we do anticipate.
All we
after
want to
s-
do is break even.
Yeah,
That's
after
it.
sale, we do anticipate breaking even on this. So we think it's a good opportunity for the buyer to get a, excellently remodeled unit back.
And that's a high, I think have to go out for bids, and, because I just received one, so it's a possibility it could be less than that.
We
But
do have
it's
to have another
replacing
RFP,
all
yeah.
the flooring, the blinds, there's a window that needs to be replaced, there's, all the appliances need to be replaced. So there is a lot of work that needs to be done in this place.
So I did get some comments from a neighbor
Yeah.
who's also on the HOA
Yeah.
board. And their comments were just one, they wanted to know if mold testing was going to be done. I told them I assumed, given that there was a leak, that APCHA would be doing mold testing. Is that accurate?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And we'll make sure it is, yeah.
And then they just asked, they were just concerned about, given the leak, they were just concerned about whether there was potential structural damage outside of the
Yeah.
drywall. So I don't know if there's a way to, let them inspect that, have some sort of a contractor inspect that. But that is, I think that's a valid concern, is just to make sure that if there was a leak, that it's not going to impact any of the other units.
We've been in a lot of conversation with the property manager, and that would actually, that would be an HOA thing, but we'll double check with them,
Okay.
make sure that's been looked at, yeah.
Okay, and then the last ask that they had is if there are salvageable pieces of the bamboo floor, if the HOA could have those for repairing some of the other units in the future.
Smart.
Yeah, I thought
Okay.
that was a fair request.
That is,
And there might be actually,
Yeah, I thought-
because not
yeah.
all of it is,
Right.
yeah.
Cost savings.
Yeah.
okay, great.
Any other discussion on this resolution?
I got some. Oh, you want me
Yeah,
to-
go first.
You mentioned break even, and I just wanted to check in on the numbers. Are we going to be clearing some revenue with this upon sale at Category 4?
I mean,
If we decide to go to the max,
Yeah,
we could probably clear a little bit, yes.
okay.
Yeah. Because I don't see us hitting that max with what we've already spent and with the quote that we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just for the record, could we give a little bit of justification for why we wanted to change it from Cat 2 to Cat 4?
we've found that Category 2 for ownership is too low. People aren't earning enough money, and some people have been struggling to buy at that price.
Yeah.
And we've had more demand for Category 4, so we thought it was a good opportunity to
Off
hit
the-
both those things.
Off the top of your head, do you remember what the income limit is for Cat 2?
I
didn't mean to put this on
No,
you
that's
on the
what-
spot.
don't. I do know that the person who owned it was a Cat 2 person when she bought it. And that was the major complaint that we got, is that she just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this I guess, something related to this is in part of our later discussion today, which is how do we better balance the limits versus the rewards in our system. And so I just wanted to get a clear statement from us that we're doing it because it's difficult to live off of Category 2 income levels. Is that right?
Yes, and pay a mortgage, yes.
Do we have a,
That's the
is there
income
like a
limit for
running
two-person
tally
household.
of the units that have changed category? Sorry. Okay, thanks, Scott. Is there a running tally of the number of units or the units that have changed category over time?
I could count them on my
Yeah, it's
one
very
hand.
small.
It's
Okay.
very, very small. Yeah. There's been a couple in the county that we have done, and we actually did get permission from the Board of County Commissioners on them, because it's a historic property, and the units are quite old. And when the next buyer comes up, there's been quite a bit of work that has needed to be done on it, and the price has gotten pretty high. So, but I can count them on my one hand. Yeah.
And does the city approve that change?
My understanding is they left that up to the board.
Okay. Okay.
What, this is Burlingame, which phase is this one in?
Two.
It,
It's in
yeah.
two.
Thank you, Carson.
Any other discussion on resolution number 1?
I have none.
Okay, is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 1, Series of 2026, appropriating funds
you.
for the remodel of 161 Mining Stock Parkway, number 201.
Thank you, John. Is there a second?
I'll go ahead and second.
Scott, thank you. And it is a roll call vote.
Okay. Peter,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Carson,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Jeffrey.
Okay, moving along, we have regulation changes overview, and I've got Bethany with this one.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Sorry I'm remote. I apologize.
It's a snow day.
Snow day, 2 in a row. So in January, we talked about a few other changes, potential changes to the regulations. As a reminder, this is not a first reading. This is an informational discussion. Cindy, Emily, Matthew, and I can all answer questions. And the idea behind this is to just discuss whether you all would like to move this forward to a first reading, potentially in March. So if Carson's okay with it, I'll take the first one, run through it, answer any questions, and then we can move on to the second one included in this. So our first topic is the potential to remove requalification income limits for our rental properties. Staff has heard that there are individuals out there that are turning down raises and increases and promotions because they're afraid of losing their housing. And they do want to grow within their jobs, but they're scared about that increase in revenue. A few things to think about is tax credit properties, while their income is required to be so low at point of initial application, they are there is no income cap after that initial move-in. So this could potentially bring it in line with tax credit properties in that you are allowed to stay in those units. Now, I will say that APCHA, since we have income limits on our tax credit units, once someone does make a certain amount, we do say, okay, I'm sorry, you have to move out. But the state's requirements are that they can stay in those units. Additionally, not looking at income at point of requalification once someone's in a rental unit, it does align it more with our ownership in that once you have qualified and have purchased a unit, you are in that unit. It does not matter what any future increases in your income look like. This could lead to a lower turnover of our units, and potentially a person making a higher income could pay a lower category rental rate. I think it was about 18 months ago, the board changed the regulations to allow for 150% of income for that category allowed at requalification. I included in here a few other options, such as increasing it to a 200% allowable income at requalification. And another option could be to allow for each individual to qualify at the category of the unit. So for example, in a 3-bedroom unit, if there are 3 working adults that are friends, their combined income must meet that category 2 or 3 of that unit. And so if you allowed each of them to meet that category 2 or 3 based on the unit, their incomes wouldn't be pooled. There has been some applicants or I should say tenants who have said, well, I'm just friends with my roommate. We're not necessarily a household. Why are you combining our incomes? But that's how the program is set up currently. If we were to allow individuals to qualify, each one at that category, it would certainly provide more favor to 3 individuals for each of the working individuals for those bedrooms, not necessarily a family, in that sometimes with a family we see one parent who might work part-time with watching children as well, and then the other parent is the primary wage earner, and so we would be requiring that wage earner still be under the category. So those are all different things. I'm happy to answer any questions, but I think the general point for discussion is whether we should look at changing requalification income limits for our tenants, so that we are not asking people to move out when they have started to make more money than their category is allowing them, and to find alternative housing at that point.
Okay, do we want to, let's take these, I think that's one at a time, and let's sort of find a consensus on this first one. Any questions for Bethany, or just any input? We'll just start, Peter, just start on the end and run it down.
I'm generally in favor of these policy changes that bring rental more in line with ownership. But I do think this is a big change, and I know there's some changes we make to, I don't know if churn is the right word, but create flow through the system, like downsizing. And then there are things that we do to help people have more housing security and make more money and move up. I guess my question is, what are the potential impacts for people that are not in the system that might be waiting for a lower category unit that would typically turn over more quickly, and now that person in the unit is able to stay longer, which is great. But do you foresee any impact in that way?
There likely would be a reduced turnover, but I can't quantify that. We've certainly heard about it. We've seen it in, I think the Post Independent had an article about folks not taking increases and promotions because they're afraid to lose their housing. There are not a ton of higher category rental units out there. I mean, we have some RO at Truscott, but the majority of the rental units are category 2s and 3s. And so there's often not anywhere for folks to go if they're higher than, for example, a category 3 or even a category 2. They're just not out there. So I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, I guess my comment would be, is there a way to pair this with something that ensures, I'm just thinking about the pressure it's going to create on people trying to get in the system because there's going to be less turnover, less available rental units. So in theory, that'll make it harder to hire those lower wage jobs. So is there something we can do to ensure that the people that are staying in housing, that are moving up in their jobs, we understand what jobs are not being filled because those people are remaining in their units? I don't have a solution. I just think at the same time we make this change, we need to be thinking about how much pressure it might create on people trying to get into the system.
Of course. And I think it's hard because we often give people a 12-month grace period.
Oh my God, we're about to go!
Oh, no. So we need everybody to log back on.
You want to take a break for people
Yeah,
to
let's,
back in?
yeah.
Okay.
Scan the day, troll at night.
Looks like you are.
Okay, apologies for the interruption.
Record it again, too.
Are we waiting on recording?
It's recording.
Okay. All right, Bethany. So Peter was just making some very astute comments, and he said that he is he's concluded his comments. So, Scott, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of follow up on some of those families waiting for lower category units and ask staff, how many people do we have on the wait list for our lowest category units? At the
We don't
moment?
have a wait list.
And so are there a lot of people who tend to be waiting for that category 1, category 2 housing in our system?
Well,
No,
yeah.
we can't qualify them. I mean, if you look at what's happening at Aspen Country Inn, there's not a large number of individuals that qualify at those lower income amounts, especially for the larger units.
Yeah. So I would just say that maybe there's a couple different solutions that we're exploring that are kind of addressing a similar theme here about affordability. So I do like the idea of removing this rental requalification income limit. One of my fears is that in the county right now, we've just kind of gone over a hill, so to speak, where non-wage income is a larger percentage than wage income. So things like investments, real estate value is driving more of the economic growth than actual contribution to the local economy on a wage basis. And so my only feedback would be, how do we make sure that this increase in income, if it happens and we do allow it over time, is benefiting Pitkin County? Like, for example, I fully understand the narrative of a local who got a raise and wants to improve their life and work up the ladder and start to bridge the gap towards ownership. But if that money came as, say, part of a trust or an investment or something like that, I think the calculation changes for me. And so I would just want to make sure that we're benefiting the county.
And that would actually be part of somebody's net assets. And we would count that as their assets,
Well-
and we do have a cap on their assets.
Okay.
And
But
that's a
Cindy, if we
qualification
look
in the
at-
trust section, that
Okay.
that counts the whole of the asset, not the income they get.
Excellent. Now, I'm just flagging that
Yeah.
as something for staff to pay attention to as this kind of calculus changes in the county and more of our county dollars are coming from non-wage income. And then I would echo some of the narratives that staff is hearing. I'm hearing from my community members as well. Not just friends who are living together, but even short-term boyfriends and girlfriends who struggle when they get counted as a household, but as well as individuals who are really struggling to find their way up through this town. And I don't know if the turnover is a result of wanting to move or needing to move. And I think that that's probably a data point that we would want to gather as a board to better understand what is really driving turnover. Because if it's an affordability issue, if it's a quality of life issue, there's a different solution metric for us than if it's a finance issue.
Yep.
So that's all I have to say.
Can
Thank
I
you.
just ask Bethany to clarify, because I thought she said that the people in category 1 and 2, there weren't many rental units in category 3 or 4. So where are most of the rental unit, in what category are most of the rental units in?
Category 3,
3.
2 and 3.
Category 3. So there's not higher than category 3 for people that are in those units to move up into? Is that-
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And the way I'm kind of reading that is that's the economic band that starts to be livable.
Okay.
And anything below that, we're noticing this churn
Right.
because of that economic
Right.
push.
John?
I'm just going to talk about the first question, and I think with the amount of people that have approached me about concerns of accepting a promotion or a higher paying job, I think it's very important to move this obvious change forward.
Okay, Jackie?
Sorry for my ignorance, but I have a couple questions. When you're in a rental, how often are you requalifying? Is it annually they're requalifying?
Every other.
Every 2 years.
Every 2. That's the same as ownership, is it?
No.
Ownership's every 5,
No,
right?
ownership's every year.
It is every year. And are they requalifying for assets as well when they requalify to the point of the trust?
Absolutely.
So this is just income, so the asset, they would still have to meet the asset.
Yes.
Okay, just checking on that. And this might be a very ignorant, I know Aspen Country Inn do the tax credits, we can't make adjustments. But with some of the other
Correct.
rental units, is there any opportunity to create more category 4 anywhere? Is any of the Lumberyard, any of that gonna help make more available units in the category 4 to handle that or no?
Well, Chris can talk
I
about
think
that.
that's,
Sorry.
so that's,
Yeah.
I would say that's a land use issue.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
right, because you end up with a lot of privately owned rentals and a big part of the negotiation and the development fees and the zoning and the just the complications that go along with that. I think that would.
So that's a totally separate thing.
I think. Yeah.
But there's no way, like with the Truscott units that are like 1 and 2, there's no way to change those categories because of the tax credits as well on those. Is that?
Well, you can't do anything with the tax credits and how they are. Truscott, we have phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1, we do have in the 100 building where our offices are located, there's 50 classified as all studio units, RO units.
Okay.
All the rest, almost all the rest of T1 are category 3 units. Okay. Where we're lacking is category 4 in rental units, and we have very, very, very few category 5. I believe the Lumberyard, they do have categories across the board planned for that project, is my understanding.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of the non-married parties, not like we don't pool them together, because I can see where that would get hard, where you all have your own jobs and suddenly you got to go find somebody who, you guys can't suddenly have a 3-bedroom apartment because everybody's doing okay. So I think that sounds like a good idea. I am a little hesitant about getting rid of it completely because it does lock a lot of people out of the system and will hold everyone here. And we do want some movement, but that's why I'm curious if there's any way to create more opportunity to let the higher incomes flow into something else, but it sounds like maybe not.
John?
Random question. Was phase 1 a hotel in a previous life? Was it the Red
Not
Roofs?
all of phase 1.
Okay.
Just
Roof?
where we are.
That was the Red Roof Inn? Okay, thanks.
Okay. Jeffrey.
I'm going to reiterate, I guess, a lot of what's said going last. It sounds like the benefit to the community would be lower churn, and given the higher AMI relative to other counties, this would be in the best interest of the community. Mm-hmm. So I would support the increase in AMI. Seems pretty straightforward.
And then Christine, any comments?
I have a question. Do we know, we're hearing stories about people turning down jobs and raises, but are people not requalifying because they're making too much? What are the numbers on that?
I don't have them right in front of me. I apologize for that. Folks aren't requalifying at their categories, and we often give a 12-month grace period to come back into compliance, which basically means make less money. And it was put into play in hopes that people could find housing within that 12 months, but no one has been able to do, no one's been able to access different housing within that 12-month period. So it's sort of been like we'll give you a little bit of time. So, maybe it's 10 a year, let's say, at requalification, maybe a little bit more. But I can't speak more than that.
Okay, that's helpful. I'm generally supportive of it, but have the same concerns, especially with the Lumberyard coming on and, putting several hundred people into rentals and then having them potentially stay there for a long time. So I carry some of the concerns forward on that part of it.
Scott?
And just to speak to that number of 10 requalifying, I think that clearly isn't capturing the full picture. Anecdotally, people are avoiding that entirely before they get to that place because there's a lot of fear in the community about the qualification process. A lot of it's unfounded because, we know we have a pretty good system that we support and we try to stick by the ethical standards that are required of us. However, there is still that kind of community fear. So I'd say that 10 is probably an underestimate.
Can I ask you, this has come up several times. Is there any modeling that can help us with how much turnover would be healthy in the system between both ownership and rental? There's got to be some model out there that.
So it sounds like I'm not the only one. I've heard from a number of business owners I had one that told me that he found one of his guys not billing clients, and he said, "Why are you not billing them? I know you were there. Why are you not billing them?" And he said, "I'm real close on my rental, and I don't want to go over and lose my housing." So I mean, is there modeling? I don't know. It's a question for staff. I mean, there's so many variables, I think, there between roommates and I think as